The fire is lit, the sun is in your eyes, and you have a burning desire to just go, do it, understand, and accept what it is and who you are right now. Life, I feel, and I say this like humbly, like I think that God is like a big middle finger to your philosophy on life, and forever will, to continuously evolve it. I think that there's like this beauty in understanding and not understanding, and I just had an experience in life where I was confronted. I was confronted by my inner child, and I understood that I don't necessarily. I understood that my connection to my inner child and me, and the way that we're together but yet separate, and understanding that you really have to treat all parts of yourself truly as if there is no one else, like that isn't necessary, that is a different person. Sorry, I was just like, my mind was going everywhere, but you have to treat yourself as if essentially how you want to be treated, and that involves like all parts of you, like compassion. Those are I'm starting to understand that a lot more now by experiencing it. And yesterday I just had an experience that literally a miracle was performed in front of me, for me, for God to be a testament and a literal evidence into my life. And I almost like was like, wait, how did that even, I almost got so critical, like almost so logic brained, and almost so I guess like what's the word, philosophy to life, if I could speak, got knocked like right then and there. And I understood that, like, that was because the whole point of the conversation, long story short, was me, my fiance, and her friend, which me and, like, we were all once like roommates, and we ended off on like not too great of terms, but eventually over time, like people say, time heals, and I put my part to the side, she put her part to the side, everyone else just did. And they mostly like my fiance in her relationship, but like our relationships like kind of rekindled. And before we were all like having a conversation, sorry. And pretty much like I had mentioned about a dream that I had, and she was able to, because I only briefly like mentioned the dream, and she was able to tell me in detail on the dream that I had like a month ago, back in December. And as in the time of this recording, it happened yesterday, so today's 25th. And then, but pretty much like she was able to recall it in detail and be able to tell me it, like from my point of view, and also from her point of view, and from the people that were also in my dreams point of view, and be able to enact it. And it shocked her so much that she started crying, because she never was able to do that before. And I just, like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, whoever is listening, and everything else. Like, no matter what you say and how you say it, and no matter like who you are, you cannot debunk this like away from me, because I was literally there experiencing it. That was my dream, and she retold it to me in detail that I'd never even said, nor was going to get into, and then some. And And so there I had realized that that was a miracle, right? So like literally she was able to like do that in presence. And I almost was like, yo, how did she do that? So I'm like thinking, I'm like, what are the like maybe like this and that variable? But then I realized, I was like, wait, bro, that was literally a miracle right there. And also like God's middle finger to my philosophy. You know what I mean? Like I had to stop and realize like, whoa, wait, that was literally a miracle that like she was able to do that. And because she never had done that before, and that was sheer evidence of a higher power of God. You know what I mean? And like I think it's cool because, and I guess like it's really like a testimony now, in a way. But all three of us were there, like it would, and we all like experienced it. And but it was sorry, we all like experienced it when we were all there. And it was cool because like I was very calm about it. And like the old roommate, she was like freaking out about it, and Mia was like in shock about it, my fiance. And like and then we all kind of, I think what it is that in that moment I realized that everyone reacts differently to events that happen in their life. You know what I mean? Like that. Like I'm sure everyone would be shocked, but I was just very calm. And in that moment I understood that that's because that's what God feels like to me. Like peace. You know what I mean? Like I grew up like watching people like cry, you know, wail, and do tongues and all that like crazy stuff, you know what I mean? And not crazy stuff, but like very expressive emotions, you know what I mean, to the presence of a higher power. And for me, I'm just extremely calm about it. Like doesn't, like, you know what I mean? So it really I really like got to understand that I compare a lot to what I think is supposed to happen is like seeing the norm. But every single experience in my life, I am consistently provided evidence to show that like I don't live, or I am not saying that I'm more special than you, that's not what I'm saying, but my life experiences are going, everyone's life, this is what I'm saying, everyone's life experiences is inherently going to be extremely different from one another, and that only one idea or so or a couple got glorified, and therefore we all think that such way of being has to, like, an experience has to be as such for it to be legit. And I, being in the moment that I was in, I understood that that's not the case at all, because that philosophy of comparing and being like lining it up and being like, well, okay, what it's like okay, a miracle has these elements, and then like, okay, did this match this element, did this, okay, like, nah, bro, it's an experience, and it's like fluid, and it would always like be so different and be different for everybody. And I like humbled myself in that moment, because therefore like I understood that I was the one that was kind of blind to everything around me, you know what I mean? Like you know, it says blind to all the love. And I had to understand that what God wanted from me, what life wants me to be, is to be a kid, is to always be a kid. And because that's like my nature, you know what I mean? Like whenever I was a kid, I was like the like most spiritual, the most like happiest, I would like they would say, um the brightest, and like nothing could ever like I had no fear like in anything, honestly. And like um and I loved like the thrill of everything. And so like who I am, like my as like in my nature, inherently, no matter how old I'll get, I'm a child. You know what I mean? I'm a child. My relationship is to spirit, is I'm a child and he's my father. That's kind of like how the relationship is. It's always, to me, ever since I was a kid, the relationship has always been like I'm like this little kid, you know what I mean? And um the God is like my father, like my dad. And I've always felt that like the earth in a way was like like eternal mother, you know what I mean? And like because I have a deep passion hate for people who litter. And anytime that like I walk to or anywhere, I always try to pick up something. And I just have like this very deep connection with nature. And I see like Christ as like my brother, like legit, like older brother in a way. And like it's like a family type of thing. And like in a sense, essentially, and eventually I want to be able to feel like whoever is listening is my like brother or sister, is part of my family, you know what I mean? And for me to stay open to that, because for me to have that miracle like yesterday, I had to be open, in all honesty, right? So I don't know. It's just an experience that I just I had, and I feel like I have to say it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a full-on length of like video about whatever. I just want to get that message across, because man, did I search forever, like, and how I almost missed it. I'm grateful that I didn't, but like, oh my goodness, like how I almost missed it, almost missed the whole point of like of it. And it made me realize that like the world around me pushes me to be this person that has to be strong or stoic, and I have to have this idea that I have to be strong and stoic, and because life is hard, and I gotta, you know what I mean, like, read books all the time and listen in my life, and do a set discipline and be this and that. But like my nature, in all honesty, is yes, like I have my discipline, and that's a part of me. Like that's always will be a part of me. That's always been a part of my nature, even as a kid. But I never had to be like a fucking Marcus Aurelius, you know what I mean, to myself, and punish my younger self for just wanting to be. So I apologize for that. I publicly apologize for that, because that was unnecessary, and I didn't have to treat myself like that. And I'm learning how to still be comfortable with being me, and learning how to be me right now, and like and be okay with who I am and flaws and all. And that's healing, and that takes a while, obviously. But in all honesty, I want to say that we're on like a good track of growth, and we're continuously growing and learning, and most importantly, like we're always divinely protected and guided. And I have no idea now, honestly, of like what to think about like the next life, but there's no point to think about like the next shit, because like I haven't even finished my mission or my goal or whatever I want to do with this life. So like I just stay focused on one thing, and like there's a time to eat, there's a time to sleep, there's a time to work, and you know what I mean. So whenever that time comes, and but for right now, I'm here to learn how to be authentically and intuitively myself, by still like staying to be that inner child. The great thing about this though is that now that I learned this, and gain this type of awareness, I'm able to move on and proceed, and be able to, all right, take the steps to be able to like, okay, let's do this, let's keep moving. All right, like I understand there's no more like questioning, like I'm going, like gone, you know. And I understand now, and like that doesn't mean that like my life and the path and the trials, there won't be trials and everything, but no longer will I feel like I'm alone on those, you know what I mean. Like no longer will I feel like I have to desperately call out or desperately feel or desperately suffer just to be acknowledged. No longer will I have to ignore, you know, my younger self for what I truly and what he truly wants to do and be. And it's my job and my duty to take care of him as much as he takes care of me without me realizing it. And yeah, I feel like that's what's going on in the next arc. I can't even say that like in the next arc. I feel like my whole life is a testimony to this. Very passionate about this topic, and obviously for a reason. My life is a quite literal like example and experience and testimony to it, and I want to continue to, just like how like Buddha can, like, I'm not gonna, you know, starve myself and, you know, do all that stuff that he did, but essentially his life was a testament to enlightenment, right? Certain people's lives are used, or they're like, certain people's lives are an example of what God could do. And I feel like just like my life and your life, like my life, I have it feeling it has a lot to do with my inner child, because how prevalent it's been in my entire life so far. And for you, it could be something completely different, but that's up to you if you want to like figure out and understand. So, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got right now. I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for taking the time to, you know, listen to me yap about my experiences and shit. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, on your way of like, you know, growing and changing. It's rough, it's scary, but you know, I got through it. I'm just a guy, like that meme. But yeah, good luck. I know you could do it. Ciao.